It's so surreal knowing that with a certain amount of money, you might be able to go to space. Of course, it isn't a small amount, but at least there's a possibility. Our childhood dreams are about to come true. In today's video, we'll be telling you all about the first carbon-neutral spaceship in the world, which will be taking tourists to space. Stay tuned to find interesting facts about this spaceship of the future. First up, let's talk about responsible space tourism. All of us want to pack a bag and go to the moon. And if not as far as the moon, we at least want to experience the weightlessness which comes with outer space travel. Most of us at some point or another have binge-watched videos on NASA's YouTube page and observed the flying astronauts with amazement. There was a time when space travel seemed impossible, but now it's pretty close to becoming a reality. With a boost in the operations of SpaceX, commercial flights have become a real thing. Even Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin missions have made space much more accessible. Currently, the only barrier when it comes to traveling to space is money. First, the missions to space were only astronauts-oriented, but not anymore. As it becomes easier to travel to space, there's a growing concern that maybe we're neglecting the environmental aspect of this contemporary space race. However, there's some good news. A company known as Space Perspective, which is based in Florida, is currently offering a carbon-neutral and zero-emission spacecraft. This would allow for responsible space tourism. With this idea in mind, the company hopes to take people into the suborbital. So, the spacecraft will probably be able to take people as high as 100,000 feet. Now, this carbon-neutral spacecraft will become the modern hot air balloon. Details revealed by Space Perspective show that the spacecraft highly resembles a large hot air balloon, so this huge mechanical balloon will be tasked with taking us up into space. This craft is also known as the Neptune spacecraft. Its capsule won't get separated mid-flight, but rather it will be staying secured to the space balloon during the entire flight, from liftoff to splashdown. Through this unique technology, the company hopes to create a safe and seamless experience for the passengers. This gentle flight would allow customers to enjoy the flight to the fullest. The engineers making this one-of-a-kind ship are making use of reflective coated windows in order to control temperatures. The capsule will have a beautiful 360-degree panoramic view, allowing you to look at anything around you without any obstruction. And if you're wondering about the size of the spacecraft, well then here it is. The capsule is just as big as a large balcony stateroom on a cruise ship, whereas the balloon is huge. And by huge, we mean that it'd be able to fit a football stadium inside it with 18 million cubic feet. Now, if you're wondering how the Neptune spacecraft works, here it is. The spaceship will be lifted by the company's space balloon, which is powered by renewable hydrogen. So no rockets or anything, which would add to carbon footprints. Just pure green energy that will be taking you into space. Sounds like a good deal, doesn't it? And it also answers all our earlier queries as well. Also, in order to make the entire process more environmentally friendly, the craft won't be blasting off into the skies. Nope. Instead, it's going to take a much slower approach. It'll be starting at the speed of 12 miles per hour, so you won't have to worry about getting shot into space at unimaginable speeds. The flight is designed in such a way that you'd be able to fully benefit from your view and absorb it easily. Apart from this, you won't have to worry about serious damages that can be caused by insanely fast speeds. In the end, there's only one rule. If you're able to fly in a commercial flight, then you'll also be able to fly in a spacecraft easily. No extra training required. Next up, we have a list of all the things you can expect on the flight. Firstly, the flight is expected to take about 6 hours. Well, it doesn't seem that long because usually intercontinental flights take much more time than that. The ticket, of course, won't be an easy buy for so many individuals. It's rumored that the projected costs of the ticket go a little north of $125,000. The ascent will take 2 hours, and as the speed will be also, the customers will be provided with excellent views of the magnificent world around them. The spacecraft is supposed to be much roomier as well, compared to the ones all of us are used to seeing. So, the passengers will be mobile throughout the flight. Sounds even better. And most importantly, during this entire mission, you won't be disconnected from the world at all. In fact, you'll get access to Wi-Fi for free. That will allow you to share your journey with friends and family simultaneously. The flight will also be offering more comfortable and reclining chairs along with refreshments in order to make sure that the passengers don't get bored and remain safe. Mood lighting, along with a fully and creatively stocked bar, are also available. This sounds like a really exciting opportunity. We better start saving soon, as the company hopes to start opening flights from the end of 2024. Now, let's see what else is happening in regards to space. Here are some other news items especially picked for you. First up, China is very close to making its own space station. China is well on its way to developing its own space station. It recently launched the second module of the main three, which has brought the country closer to its goal of setting up a space station at the end of this year. With about 5 months remaining, we can definitely expect them to meet this ambitious goal easily. The first ever module was sent to space by China in April 2021. The second module was launched just this month and needs to be docked with the one that's already present in space. The third and final module is, however, scheduled to launch in October. With these 3 launches, China hopes to complete the Tiangong space station. The name means Heavenly Palace, which will probably be operational by the end of this year. Through these steps, China hopes to meet the efforts of Russia and the USA when it comes to space development. The Chinese president, Xi Jinping, has lately emphasized a lot of these objectives and has put into place several plans to achieve this goal. Next, we have Russia quitting the space station after 2024. The 20-year-long partnership between the USA and Russia will come to an end in the International Space Station in 2024. This would definitely be the end of an era. The collaboration between these two countries after the Cold War has brought about amazing breakthroughs, scientific discoveries, and better relations between the two states. However, Russia recently announced that it'll be leaving the ISS after 2024. This announcement is pretty sad, but not entirely unexpected. Many knew it was coming since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Such a step would surely prove highly beneficial for China, as it would give them a strategic advantage. China is already almost done with its own space station, so we can definitely expect some collaborative research projects between Moscow and China. The two countries have already laid down the foundation for their good relations when it comes to space exploration. They have revealed plans for a joint international lunar research station, which will have facilities on the surface of the moon and its orbit. As for ISS, we're expecting that a private company will soon take the place of the Russians to carry out the research and sustain the laboratory. And lastly, the weather forecast suggests a shower of some Chinese rocket debris, but you don't need to worry. Yep, you heard that right. We can definitely expect a Chinese rocket body to fall to Earth this weekend. This is basically the core stage of the Long March 5B rocket, which carried the second module of China's very own space station. Honestly, China is a boss girl. It's like a child worrying that she won't be able to play properly in the sandbox with other children, so she made a sandbox of her own. What an ultimate queen move. Kudos. Now, back to the rocket junk. It's expected that the junk will be coming down on Saturday, and you don't need to run and find shelter because of course most of it is probably going to burn in the atmosphere. And if by any chance some of it doesn't, then these parts will probably fall in the ocean. So it's definitely not a don't look up sort of situation. There's a huge chance that this whole event will just go unnoticed. Experts say that it's more of a visual opportunity and not a risk at all. The reason why any of this is happening is that China is fairly new to the space game and has yet to get used to the regulations and norms. That's a wrap for this video, guys. What do you think about this carbon-neutral spacecraft? Wouldn't you want to travel to space in one like this? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this.